couple of weeks. I enjoyed all the Sergio's films after the 1959, which is he starts to make the color films, and so I've seen some of those before. Some of them are maybe multiple times, but that was like a long time ago. So I decided to watch through the Criterion Channel. I really appreciated that they have all those films there. And so I really felt that his film is like his own among the Japanese films, just because his visions of this story structures, and also I don't know, this angle that he creates, this particular shots, and very still shots when he shoots the film. And that means, I think, I kind of think about what that means. That he has this still camera shots here and there, and sometimes it's just a scenery which has this chimneys or the bottle, sake bottle, empty sake bottle standing, and kind of a very awkward, strange composition. I don't think it's compositionally it's beautiful or anything, but just his styles there. So why he established a particular style, and as of today, I don't know why he think that was like a good idea to show those things there. But his story making is, out of ordinary, extraordinary the efforts to make this type of very serene, yet psychological turmoil, jealousy, anger, in such a way that that particular thing never developed to the physical violence or anything like that. His film is never be violent, so it's safe to watch, as a family members watching together. That's very good. And so in that way, I would say his film is probably internationally appreciated just because of its beauty, stories, and cinematography is also very, very nice because it's depicts this Japanese architecture of the house, inside the interior of the house is well depicted in his film. And so if you appreciate like a short screen, sitting position mostly, people talking around the table, sitting down on that tatami mat, that's usual his setting there. So watching that, of course I grew up in the 1960s, and so it's my life then at that time. And so in one hand I really felt very nostalgic about that, but on the other hand there were some of the postures they make. For example, like sitting down on the tatami mat with the legs tightly clasped. That was like sometimes if you sit long enough, your feet, your legs cannot handle it. And but I was doing that when I was a young boy. I was sitting down like that for a long time, and I didn't feel much pains or anything much there. So if you get used to it, I think that's okay. Sometimes the posture of the kimono the woman sitting with kimono outside, and sitting kind of stooping there, and that particular position, they do that for a long time. For today's standard, today's point of view, it's very, very difficult position to sitting down like that. But if you get used to it, I think it's not that bad, I would say. And so those things are very, old lifestyle, 1950s, 60s. It's kind of old, already like 70 years ago or something, 60 years ago, probably. And but it's not that old. I think that particular lifestyle still remains today, even for Japanese people, of course. And today Japan is one of the most popular countries to visit for international tourists. And so every bit of it, it's like reminding that, Japanese culture was like that and still like that. And so sometimes those beauty and stillness and patience and also conformity kind of invite you to steep into that particular viewing. And for that, I think it's very, very interesting to watch his film one by one. I think the total 6 films, I think, starting from Equinox Flower, which uses very, very distinct red kettle as a color object there. And so since then, 6 films are made. And I want to kind of rank it myself. Definitely some of them are, in my taste, some of them are better than the others. So 6th position is The End of Summer. And this particular film went to the last is because I think he used lots of previous films, story, films, plots, films success used in this particular film. It's called End of Summer. For that thing, for that matter, I think it's not that as great. And then 5th position, The Equinox Flower. This is the first color film by him, as I mentioned, and they use this red kettle as an object of the color. And this particular one is, as I would say, a wonderful film. And this 5 film from here is like the one is better than the others, I would say. But 5th position is Equinox Flower, and the 4th position is the film called Ohio. Ohio is about the film he made, silent film, long time ago, black and white silent film, but he wanted to make this film again in color. And it's about the 2 boys. Older one is about 11 or 12 years old. Young one is about 5 or probably 6 years old. And it's about their observations of adults' culture, adults' behavior, and revolting to that. And it's very a comedy there, and it's funny, and but then again, it's again beautiful too. And 3rd position is a Floating Weed. Floating Weed is, the last film I saw in this particular setting of this particular month, the past month. Because I saw at the last, because I saw this film many, many times before, And each time I saw it, and I really liked it. And this time, no, it's not the exception. I liked it again. And it's beautifully, artistically made, especially cinematography is by Yagawa. And no, that's wonderful cinematography. That's a floating weed. And the second position is the Late Autumn. Late Autumn is about the story of mother and daughter who look like sisters because their age difference between Setsuko Hara as a mother and Yoko Tsukasa as a daughter. The age is not that much in this. I think actual age difference is not that much, probably 10, 15 years maybe. But it's a beautiful realizations of this particular author's filmmaking, and a very subtle storytelling, and very emotional, but it's not like a, you know, jumping from one point to the other. It's very steady and very quiet, and the core of this film is like their mother and daughter appreciating their time together, but daughter has to get married, so slowly they're realizing it, and ending was kind of sad in a way, but that's late autumn. And number one position is the autumn afternoon. This is more or less like his swan song, right? And it's a compendium of all the authors film in the past. But it's not like you put together with very quick manners and trying to make it the last, his last film very quickly. Only thing, like very thought out, very meticulous, slow burning type of films. Of course, the father and the daughter relationship again depicted as the daughter decided to get married, and so still that particular culture, Japanese culture, typical Japanese culture, like men's drinking at the bar, and quite often they get together for sake or beer or anything at the bar. And men's hobby of golf, for example, and or spectatorship of baseball watching. Those three activities, I think, also really enjoy those activities. He really felt that that was a typical Japanese men's hobbies there. And but for me, I was right. I grew up in the 1960s culture like that, and I didn't enjoy that conformed hobbies enforcing all the Japanese people to like. But this conformity is very important for Japanese society because of they have to get along with each other with very populated city, country itself, small land, and everything else, that they have to have some conformed behavioral code to enforce to maintain the peace. And so I understand that very much, but in a way, sometimes for me it was like I didn't like it. Now I think about looking at them, it's very fondly remember all these things, but at that time I was living, it was very stressful. So now come to think of it, wow, also liked alcohol pretty much, and I liked all these things that I mentioned, baseball watching and drinking sake and playing golf. I think he liked it. But he has this Kogo Noda. He's a collaborator, he's a screenwriter, and mostly those Ozu and Noda get together in a mountain retreat in the forest. They have a very nice, like a tea house setting type of lodging, I would say. And he goes there to spend like a week or 2 weeks to come up with the next feature film stories, scripts, and everything. What I understand, they have this system of producing a little note card, and putting on the table, and then kind of putting it here and there together to make a story of one continuous whole movie story there. And so it is more or less, I would feel that Ozu is probably genius making a film like that. He is also consistent from the point of view of other filmmakers, that he's unique because he has his distinct style, his distinct stories itself, even though repeating one after the other, but this particular story is distinct. And I don't see any other Japanese film director, kind of emulated him anything successfully. So I think that is his own film making there, and that is kind of standing out. Just because audience, as a viewer, you really love that particular beauty, particular calm, beauties is there, and the emotions coming through from that particular still shot is tremendous. I think I really appreciate Ozu's film, and I would say, he's my probably number one or number two. Maybe number one is Kurosawa still.